Jerry O'Brien, the owner of 9 Irish brothers and the youngest of 14 children, sought to create the look, feel and atmosphere of an Irish pub right here in West Lafayette. Thanks to his frequent trips to Ireland, he was able to bring a true Irish experience back to Indiana. We are grateful for the opportunity to interview him regarding his entrepreneurial ventures.
Hi, my name is Rachel.
Rachel, nice to meet you. I'm Jerry.
Hi, Jerry. Okay, so what was your early childhood like that you think influenced you to become an entrepreneur?
I was youngest of 14 kids, and when I was little, my dad died when I was little, and our house burned down twice. We were pretty much dirt poor farmers. And it's kind of that urge to say, hey, let's get out and do something. But when we worked on the farm, we worked very hard. As my older brothers and sisters started moving on, and some of them went to college, some went to the military, some of them got jobs in good places, that type of thing. You know, as I watched them, I kept thinking, I want to do something different.
How did your education play a part?
So I went to beauty school because you could make money and meet women. That's no brainer. But that education pushed me into being able to come to college. Got accepted at Purdue, went part-time at Purdue, kept going through the Greenwich School.
Why did you start your own business?
Yeah, I started my own business out of high school. So I went to beauty school, graduated, came up to Purdue, and decided I would get into school. So I opened my own business, my own beauty salon first. Eventually I opened up a beauty school. Then a few years later I sold the beauty school, opened up a salon on this side of town. I had other businesses too come up over the years, but I did that for almost 40 years. I bought a car washes, I bought another beauty salon up on campus. Sold that, bought a car wash over here, and then also had a commodities brokers thing, had a union painting company, a roofing company, and some other small business. Back in 1982, we thought about doing an Irish pub. Probably about 8 years ago, we thought we might just do this. And so we went to Ireland and started researching pubs and talked to customers and talked to pub owners and managers and everything to see if I thought this was the lifestyle I wanted to change to. We did our homework, and I think when people go into business, you've got to do your homework, you've got to get a business plan, you've got to figure out the whole community.
How did you convince yourself your idea was more than just an idea, it was an opportunity?
The idea was there. The opportunity was studied upon. Was it an opportunity that what I wanted out of it? And I really didn't think it'd be as successful as it is. I mean, I didn't think that grandiose. I just thought, it'd be a nice little place, and more than just a place to eat and drink. We wanted to project what the Irish feel was at that.
When you first started, did you actually write a business plan?
Oh, absolutely. We wrote a business plan. We wrote every scenario, good and bad, that we thought might happen. Because you had to be prepared. If this would happen, what was next? It's almost because for me, when I started this idea, the last time I was 54 years old. I mean, you don't have much room for error. We went through, studied very diligently an Irish pub concept. That there are people in Ireland that actually sell pubs to the United States, and what they do is they come over, take a place like ours before we had it built, and they'd say, we come in, we would design this whole thing for you, we'll make it in Ireland, bring it over, ship it, and put it together at your place. Okay, that's about 3 times as expensive as it should be. They have statistics out the wazoo, but the one that really came true to me was that the Irish pubs that use this concept are 95% success. When thinking that most businesses, 80% of most first-time businesses in the first year, they fail. When you have a 95% success rate in something that interests me, then I said, yeah, that's a pretty good thing. But we did the business plan, which in other words, you had to, too, for the banks and for the SBA, the Small Business Association, you had to have the business plans, so they wouldn't even look at you. So you had to have all the financials ready, you had all the projections ready, all the estimations ready, your menus, your food, your everything, so that you could sell your product to them.
I've seen this place on the weekends and it's completely packed.
Sure.
How do you do that?
You're right. It's just packed wall to wall. And but you know what? With our training, and we, like I said, when I went to Ireland, we didn't just go over there to drink and have fun. We studied pubs that were really busy and how they did it. We talked to servers, we talked to managers, we watched their flow, ebb and flow out the kitchen, this type of thing, and we recorded everything. And so we picked what we wanted, what we didn't. And we knew if we had X number of people expecting it here, here's how many servers you had to have, here's how many places, how many areas they could cover, how many they couldn't cover, our whole philosophy. And we have an in-depth training session. Matter of fact, our servers have to pass written tests or they don't get on the floor.
How did you fund your business initially?
Well, we funded it. I mean, I had some money saved up, number one. Plus, this part of it, I already own this part, and the parking lot I own free and clear. I bought the car wash about 8 years prior, so I had some money in that, but that still was only not enough to do it. And so we went to the banks, they weren't too sure, and like I said before, we worked with the Small Business Association to do that, the lending companies. And they came down and we had to show them dollars and cents why this made sense. And then what they would do is they would loan you X number percentage of the money up front, and you had to come up with the rest. So I just happened to have the rest. You have to have a pretty good concept of what it's going to cost you, and not just what you think. You know, we had to have estimates of everything that's going to be put in.
Was there ever a point in time while having this business that you thought, like, this is it, like, it may not continue?
No, but I worry about it every day. It's the push I need, though, to make sure that we don't get fat or lazy or take it for granted. You know, take your customers for granted, or how you handle people for granted. Like,
What do you think, in your opinion, was the greatest challenge, or like what was the biggest obstacle you had in starting like Nine Irish Brothers?
design. We knew we wanted, you know, up here.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to hire an architect because they always mess with. They always make things. To me, they always make things look the same. Major things out. We go to Ireland. Things that we would buy had to be exactly, for example, 9 foot 6 inches long. If we didn't have it, we wouldn't take it.
What do you think was the absolute turning point where you thought, like, I've done it, like this company is gonna pull through?
Day one. But I tell you what really gave me the real confidence is when we were building it, and see, I had a car wash, and we were turning it over, and we stripped out the floors, we dug all the floors up, and all this stuff, and we're rebuilding stuff, and we had a sign out front that said, "Come and sing." O'Brien's Nine Irish Brothers Club. We had people, I mean, 50, 60, 70 people a day calling in, stopping, saying they couldn't wait till we're open. And that's when I decided to sell the salon and move it out of here and put this part of the club too. So I told my wife, we need a bigger boat. This thing's going to go nuts.
If you could start over again, like before you officially started Nine Irish Brothers, would you have done something different?
Yes. We challenged the city, and they had a different administration back then, and they were nice people, but they had their own ideas of how we had to do things. And there's some things I wanted to do with this, like, for example, I want to have 2 stories in this one room over here, just because, why not? You know, because other pubs in Ireland do it, they have 2 stories, and this would be pretty cool. And even our landscaping was supposed to be like an Irish golf course.
So why don't you want to continue growing your business?
Why don't I?
Yeah.
Oh, we do. We do. I've got another location on the east side of town, and then we are looking at a location in Indianapolis now, and we're also looking at a location in South Florida right now. We have a certain amount of investors. I don't know how serious they are. They say they're serious. They want to put one of these in most of the Big Ten schools. So we're still looking to expand, although I'm completely happy right now. I mean, if I did not have another location, I'd be happy. But I think if you can, and you want to grow, why not? I mean, I'm not dying tomorrow, so I don't think. And so I think that to grow is important. You can grow within. You don't have to always have more places. You can grow within, change your business, change your things, do things in a more exciting way, or change the theory and that type of thing. You can grow different ways, but I do think that we've done a pretty good job maxing out in these areas, and I'd like to expand very much so.
What other business would you open if not a hair salon or a pub?
There's a lot of things I would like to do. I mean, there's a lot of commodities I'd like to get into. I've got some friends of mine that do internet securities, but right now I like to do what I feel comfortable doing, that I think I'm pretty good at, and that makes it feel pretty good, sense of accomplishment. Not only that, but a little bit of security, knowing that, yeah, you know what you're doing. Let's want you to stick with what you do. I think it comes a time in your life where you can think, you know, I figured it out. Let's stick with it.
You feel your greatest achievement is in being an entrepreneur?
Probably the greatest achievement is serving people and working with people. I'm a very people-oriented person, help people out, that type of thing. But also, we feel like we've trained and educated a lot of people to come in and work for us, and you know, probably 70% of our kids are students. So,
What is the worst advice you've been given in your run as an entrepreneur, though?
the worst thing, advice, was how everybody told me not to do it. Everybody thought I was stupid. Just thought I was absolutely crazy for doing it.
What would be the best advice you can give on future entrepreneurs?
Best advice would be, first of all, usually when you run out of college, I honestly believe you have no clue what you want to do, but for the long term. And I just think get out and get a job,